So the majority of us are constantly always chasing that dream physique, always trying to build bigger muscles, but what we truly want and what we're wanting to chase is an aesthetic physique. What if I told you you've been doing it all wrong and you're actually not doing it the right way? You possibly are missing key muscles that you should be training. Well, in this video, guys, I'm gonna show you the laziest way that you could build an aesthetic physique. And trust me, guys, there are certain muscles that you gotta work on and certain things you have to do in your routine that'll truly get you to that aesthetic physique. And no, it doesn't take a lot of work, guys. So the first thing that we have to understand, guys, is that when it comes to an aesthetic physique, it's all about the illusion. Like, notice, guys, with an aesthetic physique, what you notice is wider shoulders, bigger chest, wider lats, and a small V taper. We have to train for certain muscles that are gonna guarantee that. So we have to place a lot of emphasis on our lateral raises. We have to place emphasis on hitting some type of chest movement, and we gotta make sure our waist is tiny. Because believe it or not, guys, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Because if you can give the illusion that you have wider lats and a wider back, then it's gonna make your waist look way tinier, guys. And yes, I understand you might be struggling at losing the little bit of love handles that you got, but I'm telling you, you focusing on your lats and you having a wider back is gonna help a lot more. And yes, I know we do make an emphasis of training all three heads of the shoulders, but for now, guys, in your workout, we need to make sure we place a huge emphasis on spamming lateral raises. That's gonna give the wider look, which is gonna add to the wide look over here on your lats. So I'm not saying to neglect your front delt or your rear delt, but instead, in order to target those areas, guys, we're gonna focus more on compound movements. Having an upper chest is gonna give that illusion as well. Notice how most people are lacking their upper chest. Most people have their bottom chest developed anyways. So if you truly want that upper chest, you're gonna have to do a lot of incline workouts. And yes, you can still bench press, but include some type of incline workout. And make sure you are placing a lot more emphasis on those. For example, guys, a lazy workout split that you can have that's literally just 5 days out of the week is gonna be a push day, a pull day, a leg day. Then you can have an upper and a lower day. We're still not neglecting legs. So I get it, when it comes to an aesthetic physique, it's all about the upper body, but we still wanna make sure we're hitting our legs somewhat. Okay, in this workout split, what we want to focus much more on are compound movements, and that's what we want to go harder on. Those are going to give you the most bang for your buck. So when it comes to spamming your upper chest, the Smith machine bench press works on incline. You can do an incline dumbbell, and you can also do an incline barbell. Those three are going to take care of your upper chest. And because it's a compound movement, it is also going to work on your shoulders, which is going to hit your front delt, and as well as going to work on your tricep, which is going to work on your arms. So compound movements being working more than one muscle group, and it's going to give you a lot more, so that way you're not stuck in the gym for so long. Also, guys, when it comes to back day or pull day, make sure you're placing a lot more emphasis on your lats. So include some drop sets on your last set all the way up to failure. Do about 4 sets, anywhere from 8 to 12 reps, and making sure you're doing some type of progressive overload with each of these workouts. Another important thing when it comes to building an aesthetic physique, guys, we have to make sure we're still working on our way to being lean. I know we're trying to find the laziest way, but if you can find a way to get more steps in throughout the day, that will be so much helpful, as well as doing some type of cardio for at least 10 minutes after your workout. This will ensure that you're still burning calories, because when it comes to an aesthetic physique, in order to have all the definitions and those certain muscle groups that you want to pop out, you have to be at a certain body fat percentage. Normally, I would say once you start getting into the 15, more towards really like the 12 or 10% body fat, that's the golden body fat area that you want to be at. So that way that aesthetic physique can actually come out. So here are some lazy diet rules that I stick to all the time. Making sure you have a high protein meal, making sure your carbs stay moderate to low, and making sure you stay satiated throughout the day. So if that means you gotta drink more water, go right ahead. If you gotta include certain type of sodas that are sugar-free, include that as well. And then make sure, guys, you're using a lot of sugar-free stuff. I know they say to avoid processed stuff, but if we want to find the most convenient, lazy way, then I would stick to having like sugar-free ketchup or any other sugar-free sauces that will help you add to your food without messing up your calories. So guys, if you've been enjoying these tips so far, hit that like button and subscribe so that way you're not missing out any weekly videos or tips that I come out each week. I talk about anything from lifestyle to fitness, and I also talk about more of my experience on it. So that way you're not making the same mistakes as me, and that way you can take my experience and do much better with it. When it comes to drinking water throughout the day, guys, you gotta make sure you're drinking anywhere from half a gallon to a gallon of water, so that way your body can stay hydrated. Because if we want our muscles to pop out and we wanna look fuller, then believe it or not, guys, you need to make sure you're staying hydrated. That also includes as well getting some electrolytes. So first thing in the morning, drink your water, get whatever electrolyte drinks you have. If you don't have electrolyte drinks from a brand or company that you haven't bought, then add a little bit of salt to your food. If you're eating eggs in the morning, add salt and pepper, and that should do the trick. And also, guys, if you haven't done it already, make sure you're tracking at least your protein. So when it comes to your protein, you want to aim for 1 gram per body weight. I know studies have said 0.8 grams per body weight, but because we're finding the laziest way, and more than likely you're trying to be lean because you're trying to get that aesthetic physique, you want to get that 1 gram of protein per body weight, so that way your body doesn't start breaking down the muscle too fast. Because the last thing you want is to get lean, but then you didn't hold any of the muscle that you have when you were like much heavier, or in the process that you had and you lost a lot of strength. That's the last thing we want. And the last thing, guys, is that I want you to understand that part of having an aesthetic physique is being able to have the right mindset going into this. I know we said the laziest way, but that still doesn't stop your work effort and the amount of effort you have to put into your workouts. So you still have to train hard. You still have to have that type of progressive overload, which none of these things are really hard to do. If anything, you should do them like without thinking. Should be a habit by now. So you need to be confident enough, and you have to stick to the goal. I know you may not get to that aesthetic physique right away, but I promise you, if you stick to the plan, it'll all work out. So now that you know how to build an aesthetic physique the most convenient and lazy way, I got this video for you over here where I talk about how to be lean without tracking calories. I know, very unheard of, and most people don't think it's possible, but trust me, if you do these things that I talk about here, you'll be golden and you'll be sure to get leaner. I'll see you guys in the next video.